So, press triangle to dismiss your little...
Oh, that thing. I was like, why won't it let me switch between them? Which... Explosive shot.
Yeah, so basically, whichever one you pick, if you hold L2, and that's the weapon mod button,
right.
Like the first one, it's an explosive round. The second one, the explosive shot... Oh, wait, no, go back. What is it? Yeah, charge up a 3-round burst with tighter spread. That's the one I used the most, but I didn't really use the explosive shot as much as I probably should have. And you can end up getting both, and you can change them as you go along.
I'm gonna go with the explosive one.
So then you're putting your mod on your gun. Now if you use the D-pad, left or right, I believe, will change the modification. If you have more than one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But now if you see, so just hold down L2 real quick.
I'm gonna pick some shit up first.
There you go.
Oh shit. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Now you do have a cooldown time on that too. Oh.
Whoa. There's another guy up here somewhere. I didn't think that I killed him already. Oh, so there are multiple ways to get up here. Alright, so what was your favorite trailer?
From the Comic-Con trailers, I would have to say... Oh, man. That's a tough one.
Right?
Because I really want to say Dirk Gently. and the reason is because I'm a huge fan of Douglas Adams.
Right.
I've read just about every book that he's written. At least once.
Like, I really wish that I could say I watched the Dirk Gently novels. Or read them.
I have one if you would like to borrow it. There's two. There's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. And
I have read because
Dark Tea Time of the Soul.
Right. Because I have the Salmon of Dowd.
Right.
So I have read the
stories and
unfinished
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I have. So I've read the unfinished third book.
Right. I'm curious as to how it's going to play out as a television series.
Yeah, now I do love that Elijah Wood is going to be in it.
Right, and I am a fan of Max Landis, who is a screenwriter. He did Chronicle, he did American Ultra, he did Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's John Landis' son. So he's got some...
He's got some cred.
Some cred.
Yeah.
But I'm just more excited for it because it's another Douglas Adams
thing,
property.
Yeah. And more of his stuff needs to be... Ah, motherfucker.
And now, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is one of my all-time favorite books.
Yep.
I've read it multiple times.
I just finished rereading the series.
Right, and that's one of the few books that will actually make me laugh out loud when I'm reading it. I remember doing a book report on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when I was in 6th grade. And my parents are the ones that actually encouraged me to read it, which is weird because they're kind of conservative Christians, but they're also fans of science fiction.
Things that are hilarious.
Right, and Douglas Adams is fairly atheist.
Yeah.
and you can tell in his books. And I'm surprised.
I mean,
that
what
they
is it?
even
The
encouraged him to
first
do that.
one of the first lines in the book. In the beginning, God created everything, and everybody just kind of knows that that was a terrible decision.
Right. Now, as growing up as a kid, we had the BBC miniseries on VHS that we had recorded off of like a PBS marathon.
Right.
And I watched that tons of times. And if you want to see a faithful adaptation of that story,
More so
you
than
can't
the
go wrong with the BBC miniseries. But here's a fun fact: is that The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy never started out as a book in the first place. It started out as a radio play. And apparently Douglas Adams just kind of wrote it as he went along.
Yeah.
So he didn't really have an outline
destination.
for it. Right. It was so popular as a radio play that the miniseries and the novelization were both released simultaneously, which doesn't really happen a whole lot. But then the novel kind of took on a life of its own,
Right.
and became arguably more popular than the radio play itself. Now, when they came out with the movie version of it,
The Martin Freeman one.
right, I had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah.
Because
It was very unfaithful.
it was and it wasn't. I don't like the love story between Trillian and Arthur.
Right.
That,
They never should have been
right,
together.
it shouldn't have been there. The whole going to the Vogue Sphere and all that. I do like the way that the Vogons were portrayed there, because you kind of get that whole sense of being like highly bureaucratic.
Yeah.
Like they're portrayed in the books, and they kind of fleshed that out a little bit. And there were some nods to the books in there, just on certain things, but I think that, you know, Earth was remade at the end of the movie was kind of lame.
Well, I mean, it was in the book.
But not at the end of the first book.
Right.
And I think that Max Landis, I was watching an interview with him when he was talking about Dirk Gently at a Comic-Con panel, and he was talking about, you know, one of the first things that made him fall in love with Douglas Adams as a writer was that when he read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for the first time, you know, it basically starts off within the first chapter of the book, Earth gets destroyed, and that's like not even a big deal,
Right.
you know, for the rest of the story. And he's totally right. But yeah, Douglas Adams is very, you know, he's got that real tongue-in-cheek, very clever writing style that I really appreciate. And I might be a far different person if it wasn't for him.
Right. It's like, there's this meme that I've been seeing on Facebook that is the scene from The Princess Bride where Wesley is hanging, you know, down and Inigo's up above him. And it's like, I do not think you will accept my help because I'm only waiting around to kill you. And Wesley says, that does put a damper on our relationship. And the tag underneath it is just like, this movie shaped everything about my sense of humor.
Right.
And Hitchhiker's Guide, very much the same thing for me. Alright, I think I got most of the stuff. Oh, that's why. There's a gate there.
So as far as other Comic-Con trailers, which ones were you happy with, disappointed
I
by,
wish I could
surprised?
say that I was blown away by the Fantastic Beasts trailer. And it was good, but I don't know, it doesn't have the same feel as like the Harry Potter movies and books did.
Well, I mean, it's an American story. Okay, so I'm kind of interested in seeing how Americans are handling
Okay, and the guy from
Muggle situation.
But the guy from Balls of Fury is in it. He's just a muggle that's running around with the wizard guy, Newt Scamander, whatever he is. And, like, there's a line that he says in the trailer. Oh, I wish I was a wizard.
Right.
There you go, little guy. You're everyone. You are